I just feel like it doesn't matter if it's immediately benefits me at that moment, benefit me all day, every day. Yes, and also it's not just about me, right? Like, it's to meet the need of the parents or the consumers that are looking for places. So, oh, you need something in Lake County? Well, I'm not in Lake County, so I'm going to think of who do I know in Lake County? So it's like a tricky situation, especially if you've been working with a parent for as long as we have. Like, this has been since September of last year. She's down to the wire. She has to move. For me, it is really hard to be like, well, I can't help you. Y'all should get a hotel for a couple of weeks. Rather than just trying to solve the problem for her. So it's a delicate dance to do.
Saying that she has two consumers in your home and it's a very nice home.
Thank you so much. That is so sweet of you to say and share. I'm just very happy that you're happy with our services.
Perfect. And Lake County is... So we're going to continue with Molly. Molly, do you have control? Let me see.
You know what?
I'm gonna Dr. Stefan.
What you about to do?
Figure out something first. Don't tell me. Oh my God. My bum still hurt.
You heard your what hurt? Ooh. You had a rough time, huh?
It was rough.
And let Antoinette introduce herself. She is the owner of the group home, and she wanted to present her group home to all the support coordinators. So, Antoinette, you can go ahead.
Good morning, all of you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I periodically send out emails with our flyer, but I figured it'd be better to just speak to you all and let you know a little bit about our group home and what we offer. We are a residential nursing group home in the central Orlando area, and we specialize on patients with complex medical conditions, specifically G-tubes, trachs, vents, anything that requires an LPN or RN service is what we focus on, and that's the current population of the home. We're just reaching out so that you guys are aware of us. And if you can go to the next slide. Here's some photos of the house. You can also get a video walkthrough of the property on our website. We can provide services as an agency into other group homes, but our primary focus right now is the clientele in the home, providing them with that residential nursing as well as residential habilitation. So if you have clients out there with complex medical needs that need a little more care, or they have skilled nursing coming into the group home to service them, it may be something to consider placing them into a residential nursing home instead, so they can get that nursing care around the clock. What I find is a lot of the clients, they may have seizures or aspirating or intermittent things that it's not always easy to just call a nurse and have them come over for that hour or two, because you never know when the client is going to have that need. So having nurses on staff around the clock, make sure that nothing slips through the cracks, and it also reduces the number of visits that a patient would have to make to the ER to address those types of services. So our staff consists of LPNs and CNAs. So on every shift, you'll have an LPN and a CNA, as well as an RN providing oversight for what both of those nurses and nurses aides are doing. So we do have 3 beds open now in our current facility, and a second facility that will be licensed for 6 as well once this first home is open. So we can handle up to, 9 new clients at this point. So I'll leave it for questions. But we're about 15 minutes off of downtown. And so currently we're just doing adults with an APD, so no dementia or memory loss, because I don't think those clients are under the APD umbrella. But we are opening a home health agency, so by February of next year we will be able to open up the clientele. and help those individuals as well. Consumers are not required to go to an ADT, so they can be at the home 24 hours a day. Most of the consumers are totally bedbound and prefer not to have to go out of the home, so they can stay there all day.
There's another question. Do you have any homes in Lake County?
No homes in Lake County yet. We do have another home that we partner with. Where is Lake County exactly? That's not Deltona, is it?
Say DeBerry, Deltona.
DeBerry, Deltona. So yes, we do have a partner home there that also does residential nursing. So if you're looking for someone in that area, I can provide that home's contact for you.
Perfect. And there is the last question, actually a comment from Ellen saying that she has 2 consumers in your home and it's a very nice home.
Ellen, thank you so much. That is so sweet of you to say and share. But yes, Ellen has worked really hard with us over the last year, so much so that after her first client had been there for 6 months, she then moved another one of her clients into the home. And I'm just very happy that you're happy with our services, Ellen.
Perfect. And Lake County is Mount Dora, Eustis, and Leesburg.
Gotcha. That partner home that I'm talking about, they are in Deltona, so a little bit closer to the Mount Dora area than where we are. So I'll still share that information. If you'd like it, just give me a call.
All right. Perfect. Thank you very much, Antoinette.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. So we're going to continue with Molly. Molly, do you have control? Let me see.
Ellen for the win.
You know what?
I'm gonna step in.
Oh, Jeanette, you're in. Oh, Molly, can we let Jeanette speak?
Hold on. Let me see if Jeanette want to say something about us.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well.
I'm out. Ellen, I'm on the toilet, right? And she texts me and say, what'd she say? Saw you on the agenda today. That's great. How did that happen? I was like, gotta get the word out. Good for you, love it. I was like, I just asked. Apparently anybody can get on the call. Like, you just ask and they say, okay, you can come on and present. So then, during the presentation, I'm asking my questions, and then at the end, she puts a comment. I have 2 clients there, and it's a great home. And I was like, oh, shit, I should have took a screenshot. Damn. Anyways, it's like wonderful. And then that allowed me to share information that I wouldn't have shared, because now...
You might be able to still get into the thread and take a screenshot.
Oh, because now I was able to speak and say...
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, so this is our relationship with Ellen. She had 1 client, and then after 6 months, she liked us so much that she moved another client to our home. Great. But to have an advocate in the room, right? Like, here I am, I'm hopping on this presentation. I'm going to just say and do this because I'm going to do what I'm going to do with no expectation of anything, but my reputation precedes me, right? Like, I'm working very hard with the waiver support coordinators I have relationships with. And for one to be willing to vouch for and say, hey, yes, absolutely, on that call to help, like, magnify what I'm already saying about myself, that is a priceless contribution that, like, I couldn't have coached her to do that. You have to naturally just want to do that because that's how you feel about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy. And so then I texted her, I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing that comment. It was amazing, can't thank you enough. And she said, it's the truth, right? Like, she's very happy with our home.
Yeah.
And it's that, right? Like, I could have presented on this call a year ago.
Yeah.
While I had just 1 patient and nobody knew anything about me because I was sending out emails every month. But then sometimes, you know, later is not so bad. So now I present today. I have a track record. I have a reputation and someone that can vouch for. And I just almost feel like I couldn't have made that same impact a year ago as I was able to right now with the advocate in the room. So even though I wish I knew this idea a year ago, I'm still happy with what it did for me right now. Mm-hmm. So
you were in a better position to capitalize off that.
Yes. And also, it's not just about me, right? Like, It's to meet the need of the parents or the consumers that are looking for places. So, oh, you need something in Lake County? Well, I'm not in Lake County, so I'm going to think of, who do I know in Lake County? My girl Ariel, she in Deltona. Hey, let's throw some business her way. So when I go to these meetings and I'm meeting other group home owners and I'm handing out my flyer to them, and some of them will look at me like, well, I have a group home too. I need clients too. Yeah, bitch, we should know each other. So if I get a referral or something that I can't serve, I can refer them to you. And the same. So Ariel did not have to present on this call, but now if anybody reaches out about her group home in Lake County, so I want them to look at our agency as the solution. It's not just we got this house and you're going to come here and we'll do that for you. If you have a need, what is your problem? I'm going to figure out, either explain to you some processes that you may not have understood, like with the last referral that came out, explaining to her how to properly request for nursing hours because her waiver support coordinator didn't know how to do it. And so now she was able to walk her through that. Or I'm going to help you find the location that works for you. Because to me, I just feel like it doesn't matter if it immediately benefits me at that moment. It benefit me all day, every day.
Yes.
So whatever I can do to help benefit somebody else, great. And when it come back around, great. If it don't, I'm still good. So I'm happy with the call. I'm happy with my little 5 minutes. They got the flyer, so they had it. She's also going to email the flyer out. So like, rather than me doing an email blast this month,
it's going to come.
There is this.
That has different weight and cachet.
Yeah.
Versus you just random email coming in my box.
Yeah.
When they see such and such name at APD, they don't pay attention.
Yes. So I like that. And I think I might do like a quarterly presentation and just share a little bit about what we've done at the house this quarter. So I think we were talking about starting a monthly newsletter. I'll dial that back to quarterly. I can focus on the call, and in that, like the same day of the call, send out that newsletter with like little snippets of things that are going on in the house. We have a lot of parties, right? So little pictures of that and what the consumers are doing, some parent reviews. So we'll start marketing a little more and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I mean, communicating the successes you've had with assisting the consumers, like this one lady whose kid is expensive too, and she wants them to have nursing services, but the waiver support coordinator doesn't know about that and how to manage that, and for you to assist with that, like communicating that to other waiver support coordinators can show a potential partnership that can take a load off their shoulders, because that high budget handbook is complex, it's challenging to really meet the needs of the consumers in a full way. And by you telling that story, telling the story about and how you're able to walk them through the crisis placement, like that shows partnership as opposed to just service and you work for me.
Did I sit down with me?
No.
Okay. Anyway, well, good call. I'm happy about that.
How'd you get on the call?
Well, we went to Empower Florida. It's like an annual conference in the Central Florida area for providers. And we were talking to, I don't remember who we were talking to in the hall, but we were talking to somebody in the hall.
Jeanette?
Yeah, probably Jeanette. So Jeanette Estes, cut this out because I don't really know what her position is, but she do something big at APD. I don't really know. We talk to everybody. Yeah, we talk to everybody. We don't care what their position is. And so we were just talking to her about still having availability in the home, having gone through operations for a year, and not seeing a lot of consumer referrals come out that actually need nursing. So we asked if she had any creative ideas for how to continue to get the word out there and just like network more with consumers, waiver support coordinators, and she mentioned, hey, you could just present on the monthly call. Okay, right? And she mentioned it like it wasn't a secret, like I'm gonna do this special thing for you. It's a basic, hey, if you want to ever present on a call, email this person and they'll add you to the agenda. So boy, I'm just gonna do that all the time now. In addition to the email blast and like what we do with the website, with this YouTube show, putting stuff out there. So yeah.
That's great. I think that's awesome. So in regards to some of the progress in the house, can you give us an update on the roller coaster that has been patient number 3? Crisis placement.
What the last thing we had said?
The last thing we had said was, I believe we finally crossed the finish line and getting them approved for services.
All right, they got approved for services, but then the services that they approved him for were incomplete. They approved him for residential rehabilitation, which is placement into a group home, but they did not approve him for nursing care. He's a G2 patient, seizures, like he needs 24 hours of nursing care. So we canceled the placement and resubmitted a request for them to add nursing in. So we had to collect additional documents from the doctor's appointments. I had to drive to his doctor's because
You're fucking retarded.
I had to drive to his doctor's to collect documents because mom has a job and don't have the time to run around and do that. And it had to be like justification for why that patient needed nursing, the history for whatever it was that he had. Had I known that the records that mom had collected and sent initially did not include that, we would have been did this. But when you go through the crisis process, they're working with the parent. The parent is submitting documents, and I have no line of sight. I can't see unless the parent also sends me a copy or remembers to do that. I don't see what's getting submitted. So it was like, a month out from move-in, and we find out that nothing of like substance had been submitted, just like doctor's visit summaries, which all they talk about is what that patient came in for that day. He had a runny nose, so that's it. But it's not the history of, it's not justification for why a client needs nursing. So we had to go back and chase all that stuff up, get that, resubmit it, and request them to review it again so that they can add nursing to the budget so we could submit for that. So we did that. We did that successfully. We found out a couple days ago that they approved to add nursing. So we're all happy, like, boom, okay, we moving forward with a June 3rd move-in. We got nursing adding. Well, the transition call was supposed to be today, 2 days before June 3rd. They canceled the call, saying that he doesn't have funding. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Right? You don't send an email out of call canceled, client has no funding. So after digging, what that meant was the original funding is no longer valid because he now also needs to have nursing added, and so they're redoing the package to add the additional funds for nursing. Sounds a lot better than canceled, no funding. But anyways, that's what it is. But like, you tell us that 2 days before the projected move-in, and you're also not telling us a timeline for when this funding review would actually happen or take place. So they have said that they are going to request that it be expedited. But what does that mean? They've submitted it, and normally it could take like 1 to 3 months for them to review somebody's file and approve funding. But what is the timeline on expedition? So we're asking for clarification on that, and they're like, well, we requested it already. We can't really tell you how long it's going to take. And I'm like, yo, this is a crisis placement that should have been completed within 45 days. We've far exceeded that. And now here we are, 3 weeks out from the date that the mom has to move out of her home, and y'all don't have a plan for this client. And they will not have a plan, not have anything, and look at you, the group home provider, look at you, the waiver support coordinator, and be like, well, y'all got any ideas? No, we don't. Because one, they can't come into my house without a service authorization because, they do not pay you until you get that approval. So I could feel sorry for mom, take him in. They don't complete the service authorization until 3 months later. They're not going to back pay me for the 3 months that I have just taken care of this individual and provided services for him. So it's like a tricky situation, especially if you've been working with a parent for as long as we have. Like, this has been since September of last year. She's down to the wire. She has to move. For me, it is really hard to be like, well, I can't help you. Y'all should get a hotel for a couple of weeks. rather than just trying to solve the problem for her. So it's a delicate dance to do. And quite honestly, I couldn't see myself not just taking him while we wait, because I can. Like, I have the availability, the space is there, the staff is already there. It doesn't hurt me to do it, but it also doesn't help. So the goal is to play hardball and just be like, hey, as far as APD is concerned, I can't take it without a service authorization. Mom's gonna be homeless in 3 weeks. Y'all should probably move very quickly. But then on the back end, me and Mom are having conversations. In 2 days, she's gonna be moving her stuff in. Like, I'm gonna help her the same way I've been helping her when there was no benefit. Because at this point, yeah, she absolutely needs it. And they don't care enough. And they're also not in a position to do it.
I mean, and for that, to that point, right? How many people are there on the waiting list just to get on the waiver?
Thousands of people.
Thousands of people, right? And it's the unfortunate reality, especially the way that they've structured it, right? Everybody is in crisis. Everybody is in need of services at a rather extreme level. Mm-hmm. And when that's the case, you do kind of just get lumped into a category and labeled with a number and just on a conveyor belt that just, they attend to in whatever order without any care or compassion.
And they never even see you. So when we redid the funding request, I made sure to include a photo of him, like photos of him, because they do all these assessments just reading words on a paper. And their understanding of what the patient's condition is as good as whoever wrote the words on the paper could, communicate. Well, look, she heard me speak on the WSC call. She want to call me. Anyway, I don't know, somebody, but we'll call me. So I put photos in there and uploaded that, and I think that's going to be like a standard of practice. Anytime a request is going through, you need to see the patient. You need to see them. Don't tell me this person doesn't need nursing and you never looked at them, because for this particular client, looking at him, automatically. So I think that helped, because I don't think the words, the additional documents that we sent were strong enough, but I definitely think that photo made the difference. And that has been just doing things slightly differently, or doing what organically comes to you, I think has been our point of difference. No one does open houses for their group home. We did open house. We do birthdays. We're going to present on a WSC call. We're sending pictures with our, supplemental funding requests, because it's all those little things in attempt to close the gap.